man? How have you been? Yeah?
This week has been.
Yeah.
No, sir. That's my own doing, right?
What's that?
It's my own doing. I can say no sometimes.
Probably. It's your own fault. It's always, well, it's just we're too good of people.
Let's serve, right? I want to make sure people are happy.
That's right. Yeah, it'll be the downfall of us, but at least they'll be happy.
Yeah. Did you go to the Miami game?
Yeah, we were there at the Fiesta Bowl. Yeah.
I was trying to go. I thought I had some tickets locked in, but then I heard they were so cheap on resale because everybody bought them because they thought it was going to be Georgia or whoever.
Right.
And then it ends up being Ole Miss and Miami. So
Yeah, which is a great matchup too. I mean, yeah, so that was good. Yeah, we flew my daughter back out for it.
Nice.
Because we had 4 tickets.
Yeah.
And, there it goes. Yeah, I forgot to charge this thing.
We always have portable ones too.
Oh, okay. All right. I'll let you know if it doesn't work. But yeah, no, it was an insane game. It was one of the better live games that I've seen. So yeah. So anyway, still.
And then I was shocked Sam Darnold is going to go to Miami.
He was touring Miami, or that's. But is he going to go to LSU
Yeah, it
now?
sounds like he's landing in LSU.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
Lost Jaden Daniels and Levitt to LSU.
And we could sure as heck see him win the Heisman.
Yeah.
Just like
Yeah. We'll see. Yeah. We'll see.
He just pumped out more talent.
Yeah. I mean, competitive all around. So it'll be interesting to see what ASU does. Hopefully they can.
They've got two quarterbacks coming out.
Yeah, I know. Just like as a whole.
Right, and like you got Jake Betty. Like, I mean, you never know what you get out of a 4-star, but we have 4-star.
Yeah. Yeah. And we just in our red zone.
Yeah.
It needs to get better.
Yeah.
Because you
If I had any interception and fumbles.
no. Yeah, they were too used to Scatterberg.
Yes. Yeah. So.
All right. We got a live band here. Live performance.
We get a new Wi-Fi password again?
Oh, yeah. I guess so. Hey, Ruben, what's the Wi-Fi? It's not connecting.
Hold on 1 second.
Sure.
Your mic's on, just so you know. I was like, that was really loud. I wonder why that was so loud.
All the mics are on.
Oh, we're all good, no worries. Is everyone good to go over there? Are kids all ready for us to get going? Awesome. Well, hello everyone. Thanks for joining us. Today is Wednesday, almost said Tuesday, January 14th, 2026, and this is the regular and organizational meeting for the Litchfield Elementary School District Governing Board. I hereby call this meeting to order. The first item on the agenda is going to be the Pledge of Allegiance. If you guys could please stand and join us. Thank you. Next, we're going to take a moment of silent reflection. Thank you. Next, we are going to move into the, first we have to do a couple of organizational things, and then we're going to get to what most of our people that are here to see our beautiful students perform for us. So we will get through this organizational stuff quickly so that we can get on to our performance for our students. The first item on the agenda is the election of the governing board president. And I will open the floor for nominations. And the way this will work is people can make nominations, and then someone would make a motion and a second, and we would vote. So if someone wants to start the conversation, Ryan, would you like to start?
I would like to start, thank you. So I remember my very first meeting when I first got elected 4 years ago, and this came up, and I was like, well, I know it's not going to be me because I don't know what I'm doing. And then year two, I felt like, again, wasn't quite ready, still learning the ropes as being a school board member and all the roles and responsibilities that came with it. Last year, I was kind of in a position where I felt like if nobody else wanted it, I would have done it, and I would have been happy to do it. And then towards the end of last year, coming up on this year, knowing it was my 4th year on the school board, I felt like it was kind of my time. And I felt like I was putting myself in a place where I knew the commitments that it was going to require. And so what I did is I talked to Superintendent Davidson, I talked to a couple other board members just to kind of find out, their thoughts. And I met with current President Zaidema to find out, kind of what it was like having been board president the last couple years. And so I had a better understanding if I was going to put myself in that position. And one of the things we talked about, and one of the things I asked her was if she wanted to continue being the board president or if she was kind of over it after 2 years. And she mentioned to me that she really had a strong interest in maintaining the position because she wanted to see through the completion of Troy Gilbert, right? She was the board president when we, I can't remember if you were the president when we did the bond, but I know when, we broke ground and all that stuff. And so knowing how well she's served the school board as its president the last 2 years, I'm completely happy to nominate her to serve as board president again for a 3rd term, just knowing how well she's operated and controlled the board. And so maybe my time will come next year, but for now, again, I'm happy to nominate Melissa Zaidema.
Mr. Mikes, did you have any comments or nominations or anything you wanted to say?
Nothing additional. I was just listening to everything Ryan was saying, and I'll second the motion for Ms. Zaidema to be board president.
So right now, it's just nominations. So he's nominated, so we'll do a motion in a minute.
Gotcha.
I wanted to let everybody have a chance to speak first, and then we can do motions. Ms. Wallace, did you have any comments?
I support the nomination for you to continue as the president. Anyone watching that doesn't know, Melissa pours her heart and soul into being a board member and serving this board, and I just thank you for everything that you do and being willing to do it again.
Ms. Moran?
I agree with everything Board Member Wallace said, and I also would support your nomination.
Wow, I don't even, thank you guys so much. I really do love doing this job. It's not one that I wanted when I first took it on, but it's one that I've grown to really love doing, and I do really want to see through Troy Gilbert. I feel like that's the project that's kind of been going through my time here, and so I'm excited to kind of see that to the end and see it open. And so thank you for all of the support I have from my board members, and I also encourage board members that might be interested in doing this next year, definitely let's start talking about what being president looks like and things that you can start doing now and things to be ready so that you hit the ground running next year. I'm excited to help anybody who wants to do that in the future, because this will be it for me this year. So, but thank you. With that, if somebody would like to make a motion.
I move to elect Melissa Zaidema as board president.
I second.
Having a motion for Mr. Owens and a second for Mr. Mike, I will call for the vote. Mr. Owens?
Yay.
Mr. Mikes?
Yay.
Ms. Wallace?
Yay.
Ms. Moran?
Yay.
I'm also a yay. Motion passes. Okay, with that, I have to do this governing board president oath of office. So I'm just going to read this statement. I, Melissa Zaidema, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution and laws of the state of Arizona, and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same and defend them against all enemies, foreign and domestic, and that I will faithfully and impartially discharge the duties of the office of President of the Litchfield Elementary School District Governing Board according to the best of my ability, so help me God. Thank you. With that, we can move on to the next thing, which is our organizational items. The first item is going to be authorization to use the governing board president's signature or electronic signature stamp for employment contracts. Does anybody have any questions? If not, we can make a motion.
I move to authorize the use of the president's electronic signature stamp for employment contracts as presented.
I second.
Having a motion from Ms. Moran and a second from Ms. Wallace, I'll call for the vote. Mr. Owens?
Yay.
Mr. Mikes?
Yay.
Ms. Wallace?
Yay.
Ms. Moran?
Yay.
I'm also a yay. Motion passes. See, we're going to be so quick, and then we're going to get to the fun stuff. The next item is authorize use of signature stamp of governing board president for signing of terms and conditions for building renewal grants. Again, if somebody has a question, otherwise we can make a motion.
I move to approve the use of signature stamp for the governing board president for signing of terms and conditions for building renewal grants as presented. The terms and conditions for building renewal grants will be brought for ratification at the next board meeting.
I second.
Having a motion from Ms. Moran and a second from Ms. Wallace, I'll call for the vote. Mr. Owens?
Yay.
Mr. Mikes?
Yay.
Ms. Wallace?
Yay.
Ms. Moran?
Yay.
I'm also a yay. Motion passes. Next, we are going to do authorization to continue use of hearing officers for employee hearings and student discipline hearings. If anyone has a question, please ask. Otherwise, we can take a motion.
I'll move to authorize the continued use of a hearing officer for conducting employee hearings and student discipline hearings and approve those listed pursuant to ARS 15341, 15541, and 15843 as presented.
I'll second the motion.
Having a motion from Mr. Mikes and a second from Mr. Owens, I'll call for the vote. Mr. Owens?
Yay.
Mr. Mikes?
Yay.
Ms. Wallace?
Yay.
Ms. Moran?
Yay.
I'm also yay. Motion passes. And finally, we will move on to approval of LESD governing board member to serve as ex officio non-voting member on the LESD Educational Foundation Board for 2026. With this, I actually am going to turn to Mr. Mikes first because you are the person that's done it this last year to get your thoughts and if you want to share what that is, and we can discuss who would be good to do this for the next year.
Yeah, the educational foundation that supports our district is a great opportunity to kind of get involved with the people and parents that support our teachers and students. There's a lot of great opportunities where there's a golf tournament fundraiser that they do that raises money to pretty much directly get that money into the hands of the teachers and kids. We do a big Pride Awards at the end of the year to celebrate excellence of various teachers. We do various grants throughout the year. I believe over $20,000 in mini grants has been given out to teachers this past year, or the past year for everything that they can apply for. And also there's a number of graduate scholarships that are given out to kids that have promoted from Litchfield Elementary that are seniors in high school, and it's open for anybody that has done that, and just another little piece to support all of our kids kind of throughout all the years. So it's a great chance. They meet monthly with a great group of people, and just a chance to do some really great things and get it direct to the classrooms and kids.
So you served on it this last year. I know that I have been on that board before, as well as Ms. Moran. I don't believe you have done it, Ms. Wallace, and Mr. Owens. I don't think that you have done it. So what are thoughts? Initially, I was thinking maybe Mr. Owens might want to do it this upcoming year, if that's something you were interested in doing. I know you know a lot of people in the community, and I know that's a lot of the work there is kind of, reaching out to businesses and community members and things like that and bring everybody together. So I thought that might be a good thing for you to do, but I'm not sure if that's something you're interested in or something you're able to do at the time, but just an idea. But I'm interested in other people's feedback.
Yeah, I'm definitely interested. I know last year it was kind of the same situation where, board member Mike's had already been in a more official role, and so he kind of saw that through as well. So unless there's another board member who was more interested, I'd definitely be willing to serve on the board. I feel like it's a great opportunity for me to get additional insight into the community and the foundation and its role and relationship with the school board and the staff and how they contribute to supporting our teachers. So I'd be happy to do it.
Ms. Wallace, Ms. Moran.
Having served on that board for many years as an official member and then multiple years as the board liaison, I am more than happy to support Ryan as the current year ex officio member.
I also support that.
Mr. Mikes, I'm sorry, you did do it last year, so I I'm not sure if that was something you were looking to keep doing. I just thought it might be a great place for.
I think it's would be a great spot for board member Owens to be a part of, and definitely step back so everybody else can get an experience with it.
Wonderful. If someone would like to make a motion, actually, I move to. I should have the right words. I move to approve Ryan Owens as the ex officio non-voting member on the LESD Education Foundation Board for 2026.
I will second.
Having a motion from myself and a second from Ms. Moran, I will call for the vote. Mr. Owens?
I'm a yay.
Mr. Mikes?
Yay.
Ms. Wallace?
Yay.
Ms. Moran?
Yay.
I'm also a yay. Motion passes. Okay, next we are going to move on to recognitions and celebrations. I'm very excited for this for tonight. We've got a bunch of students over here, and this is going to be led by Executive Director Nuanis.
Good evening, everybody. Governing Board President Zaidama, board members Dr. Davidson, fellow cabinet members, and community members both present and online. This evening, we are proud to recognize National Governing Board Appreciation Month by celebrating one of the many ways our governing board supports well-rounded student learning through the arts. Music plays an integral role in the development of our students, fostering creativity, discipline, and collaboration. We are honored to welcome the Wigwam Creek Middle School String Ensemble, an outstanding group of talented musicians led by their dedicated music teacher, Mr. Jonathan Molina. Ladies and gentlemen, the Wigwam Creek Middle School String Ensemble. How about that? Was that not just amazing? Let's get to know some of these. Sure.
Hello, everyone. My name is Mr. Jonathan Zavala Molina. Students just call me Mr. Molina. We are representing Wigwam Creek Middle School. In front of you, you have a combination of students. You guys can go ahead, have a seat. Yeah, there you go. Sorry. You have a combination of students that represent all grades in our school. This piece was called the Russian Music Box, and we were able to put it together in 2 after-school rehearsals. The students did an amazing job learning it. They showed up. They were eager to learn it, and they did a great job of performing here for today. I told them that I would give them a quick chance to just introduce themselves. I know we have a lot of parents here, so thank you guys for showing up for your support. I want to make sure that your student gets recognized for their contributions here. So they're just going to share their name, their instrument, and how many years they've been in the district.
Okay. Hi, my name is Bella. I play the violin, and I have been in the district for 3 years.
My name is Emma. I play the violin, and I've been in the district for 8 years.
Hi, my name is Bailey. I play the violin, and I've been in the district for 5 years.
Hi, my name is Isabel. I play violin, and I've been in the district since I started school.
Hello, my name is Reagan. I play the violin, and I've been in the district for 8 years.
My name is Jesse. I play the violin, and I've been in the district for 3 years.
Hello, my name is Ellie. I've been in the district for 8 years, and I play the violin.
My name is Kristana. I play the violin, and I've been in the district for 4 years.
My name's Emma. I play violin, and I've been in the district for 8 years.
My name is Jenny. I play the viola, and I've been in the district for 7 years.
My name is Austin. I play the viola, and I've been here for 2 years.
My name is Janelle. I play the viola, and I've been in the district for 6 years.
My name is Ariana. I play the double bass, and this is my first year in the district.
My name is Gabriella. I play the violin cello. I've been in the district for 10 years.
My name is Alexis. I play the cello, and I've been in the district for 8 years.
My name is Micah. I play the cello, and I've been in the district for 7 years.
My name is Tessa. I've been in the district for 2 years. I play the cello.
So those are just some of the students that I have the privilege of seeing every other day on my campus as I teach strings. Our campus does also offer band, choir, and general music. So we are a rich campus that supports the fine arts, and we are more than honored to have the opportunity to be here today. Thank you guys for having us.
Thank you, Jonathan. Amazing, just amazing. You guys have another song? Okay, that's fine. Awesome. One more round of applause for these amazing students. Okay.
You guys did amazing. And shout out to the viola players. I played that when I was in school too, so that's awesome. But you guys did amazing. I am blown away by how great that sounded. And only having 2 days to learn your song was awesome.
All right, just hang tight for a while. We're going to do another quick little celebration. Okay. Moving on. The Litchfield Elementary School District proudly recognizes the most recent participants who have successfully completed the 2-year Future Leaders Academy. These dedicated educators committed their time and energy to learning, growing, and developing as leaders within LESD 7-9. Demonstrating a strong desire to serve our district and students at the highest level. Through this rigorous 2-year program, participants explored leadership pathways across both the academic and operational sides of the district, gaining a deeper understanding of how LESD 7-9 functions as a whole. These future leaders aspire to serve in roles such as instructional coaches, advisors, behavior coaches, assistant principals, principals, and directors, helping to strengthen our schools and support student success. Excuse me. The Future Leaders Academy is designed to provide staff members with meaningful professional development that equips them with the skills, knowledge, and confidence to excel in current and future leadership roles. The program reflects our commitment to identifying and cultivating leadership potential within our own organization, an approach that supports long-term excellence across the district. By investing in our staff, we not only expand individual leadership opportunities, but we also strengthen LESD 79 as an organization, ensuring that we continue to lead with readiness, resources, and relationships that ultimately benefit our Litchfield learners. Congratulations to our Future Leaders Academy graduates. Please come up. I will ask for some assistance as we have some certificates for you. They're in the right order as we read them. Okay. Please come up as you hear your name to receive your certificate. From Barbara Roby Elementary School, Miss Carrie Pritcher. Okay. From Rancho Santa Fe Elementary, Juliana Larson. From Rancho Santa Fe Elementary, Miriam Wilson. From Verado Elementary, Samantha Helipico. From Verado Heritage, Andrea Oliznik. From Verado Heritage, Natalie Bush. Also from Verado Heritage, Thomasina Height. From Verado Middle School, Brittany Matthias. And also from Verado Middle School, Christina Riccioni. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the kind of commitment and dedication to our students that makes student success and achieves higher level learning for our Litchfield learners. We are grateful for your commitment to LESD 79, and we look forward to the positive impact that you will continue to make across our district. Congratulations. Quick group photo.
Thank you, everybody. Congratulations to all of our future administrators that are completing this program. And we want to thank you again to our amazing students that performed for us. We are going to take a 2-minute break here so we can kind of maybe it might be a little longer depending how long it takes them to get their instruments out, so that we can let them get on their way for their evening. So yeah, with that, we're going to take a little break. It looks like we are all cleared out, so now we can get on to the business of the meeting. The next on the agenda, we have no public speakers today, so we are going to move right on to adoption of agenda and consideration of the consent agenda. I'll go through and see if anyone has any items they wish to pull from consent. Mr. Owens?
I do not.
Mr. Mikes?
None for me.
Ms. Wallace?
None for me.
Ms. Moran?
As expected, I would like to pull 8.10, out-of-state travel request.
Okay, if someone would like to make a motion minus 8.10.
Move to adopt the agenda as presented as to the order of business items and approve the consent agenda as presented with the exception of 8.10.
I second.
Having a motion from Mr. Mikes and a second from Ms. Wallace, I'll call for the vote. Mr. Owens?
Yay.
Mr. Mikes?
Yay.
Ms. Wallace?
Yay.
Ms. Moran?
Yay.
I am also a yay. Motion passes. We will now move on to what will now be 9.1, which is out-of-state travel. Ms. Moran, you just want clarification about this, right?
Yeah, I mean, I just think it's important, as administration knows, to carefully consider all out-of-state travel requests. And so I would just like to know more about this opportunity and the advantages that it brings us as a district.
Absolutely. Thank you, Governing Board Member Moran. So this opportunity actually is for me to expand my development as the Deputy Superintendent of Academic Success. As you all know, much of my job is not only planning for the now of how we can raise student achievement and meet kids' needs, but also planning for the future. So over the last 2 years, I've been part of a cohort through ASU. It's ASU's roundtable for superintendents, and I have the opportunity to engage in a lot of different professional development and share the story of what we're doing here at Litchfield, and specifically about building our Litchfield learner so that they're ready for high school and beyond, and really looking at those innovative practices for high school readiness. And so this opportunity actually came to me from the leader of that group. They sent me the opportunity to actually apply for a scholarship. So this conference is actually a scholarship that I was awarded for to attend the conference. So the cost of the district is just the hotel stay, as well as, actually that's it, because travel is already included in my daily function. I travel every day. And so I'm asking the board to approve this so I can specifically go and get developed myself and bring back expertise. It's a nationally known conference that focuses on instructional improvement and workforce readiness, and definitely connects with our Litchfield learner traits to help our kids be better communicators, better team members through teamwork, problem solving, continuous learning, character, and content expertise. When I was looking at the agenda, there's definitely items that I can bring back to our district and help enhance the work that we're doing to truly make sure that our kids are ready from grade to grade and ready for high school with the skills that we want them to have in our Litchfield learner traits. So that's why I brought it to the board to ask you to approve the out-of-state travel for this event for my position and my continued growth and contribution to Litchfield.
Mr. Owens, did you have any questions or comments about this item?
I do not.
Mr. Mikes?
No questions for me.
Ms. Wallace?
No questions.
Ms. Moran?
No, I appreciate the clarification. Thank you.
I have no questions either. If someone would like to make a motion.
I move to approve item 9.1 as presented.
I second.
Having a motion from Ms. Moran and a second from Mr. Owens, I will call for the vote. Mr. Owens?
Yay.
Mr. Mikes?
Yay.
Ms. Wallace?
Yay.
Ms. Moran?
Yay.
I'm also a yay. Motion passes. We are now going to move on to our discussion items, which will be the superintendent evaluation tool. We had a committee formed to work on this, which was Mr. Mikes and Ms. Wallace, and they also worked with Mrs. Benjamin over there. And they came up with this draft, which now we get to discuss. And also, the board was able to, without discussion, we were able to kind of work through it when we did our evaluation of the superintendent in December to just kind of see how it looked. And so now this is a great opportunity, once we've had eyes on it, to discuss as a group, what did we think about it? And so I will turn it over to Ms. Benjamin.
Thank you so much. We had a great time being able to dig into the evaluation with Board Member Mikes and Board Member Wallace. We worked to create the framework that was similar to what the leaders are currently using, what we're also developing for our teachers and for our classified staff, seeking to find a way to cascade the evaluation system so that Dr. Davidson's evaluation would look very similar to those that are using it across the district or will be using it across the district next year. You did have an opportunity to kind of look at it, and so this is really just an opportunity for you guys to share your feedback. Is there anything that our committee can take back to make some adjustments and provide a tool that would really work for everybody?
Mr. Owens, did you have any comments or questions? Or would we like to start with our other committee members on the board? We can let them talk first, I suppose.
Yeah, if that's okay. That's
Okay.
kind of what I was leaning towards.
Okay.
If that's all right.
So, Mr. Mikes and Ms. Wallace, I'll let you guys kind of go with that for now, if you guys want to kind of talk about your experience and your thoughts.
Okay, yeah, sure. Yeah, it was a great experience to kind of dive in to see. I mean, one of the big pieces is we like the concept and idea of a streamlined accountability system across the district, and top to bottom, of course. And so we had a chance to kind of dig in, like Ms. Benjamin said, and it gave us an opportunity to really kind of fine-tune some of the verbiage as far as expectations for Dr. Davidson. It gave us a chance. One of the big things is we were able to embed a rubric with specific talking points for it to help kind of narrow down some of those conversations and that rating system as well. The overall pieces, or expectations from the old one to the new one, you'll see a lot of similarities for those pieces. For the most part, like I said, I was able to kind of streamline it into a rubric form to help engage us in conversations to really kind of fine-tune what we're trying to say or what we're rating Dr. Davidson on. And then the final piece, obviously it's a big document. It looks bigger than it is because of the rubric piece, but the final thing as well is it takes it to a 4-point system for highly effective, developing, and ineffective, and trying to use a point system to get more clarity as we go through with that. So. And it was a good experience to do it, and to get more feedback. And it's probably maybe not perfect, of course, but chance to get more feedback from it.
Ms. Wallace.
Yeah, I agree with what Board Member Mikes was saying. We're trying to take this from the same look and feel of what we're currently using for our administrators and continue that on. We took the tool that we currently had and we looked at where the areas that we evaluate on currently fell in each of the headings. And it turned out that when we divided them into the headings, it really was fairly equal in each heading, and we didn't really have to take anything out or add much. There was just, again, adding the examples and some artifact examples that will hopefully help us all be able to be on the same page and to provide maybe some reasoning and evidence for the scores that are given based on the descriptors that we now have.
Ms. Moran, did you have some comments or questions?
You know I do. Okay, so I kind of want to back up a little bit because I know the point of this is to get a tool that looks and feels like everyone else is using, which I think is important, and use the same verbiage and that sort of thing. But I guess I'm not clear from this if you could tell me more about which parts are actually cascading, because I can tell, like 1.1 is basically a measurement that we had used in our previous tool. I guess I would like some help and guidance in mirroring or in explaining how this tool cascades and what parts of it are the same or very similar to what our Litchfield leaders' tools look like. And I know we've looked at that before, but I didn't have the time to go in and actually look at each thing and try to figure that out myself. I thought the people that worked on this tool would be able to better explain that to me.
Yeah, great question. So definitely the rubric, going from the 4-point scale: highly effective, effective, developing, and ineffective. The domains are the same. We did choose to combine domains 3 and 5 for teamwork and continuous learning. We felt like, based on the work of the superintendent, those often went together. So that alleviated one of the domains because we allowed for 3 and 5. So although it is cascading, we still have those present. We put those as one indicator. When you're looking through and the 1.1, 1.2, if it matched and it was something that we felt it was important for the superintendent and it was also on the leaders, those did match. Not all of them do. We did actually decrease some of the superintendent ones based on the leader. We also will be coming back, bringing the leaders back this summer, because as we're going through it, we know that it's a little long and we're going to need to shorten it. So we might actually see that aligning again based on getting to use the instrument and being able to just have that opportunity to dive in and work with it. So those will align again, but they might not be perfect. So you do have the domains, those would be the same. You've got many of the indicators. And then as far as the descriptors, those are based on the superintendent. So they still may align with some of the verbiage, but we're really making sure that that is the superintendent, not necessarily a director or a principal.
Okay, so I guess my thought, which could be an incorrect thought, on hearing the word cascading, is that Dr. Davidson would be able to take on his org chart all the reviews of the people that report to him and then roll some of that up to his performance. Is that accurate? Or that's kind of what I'm looking for, is where do we see that overlap, and where are we going to see the evidence of his direct leadership team and their performance on his performance?
Thank you, Ms. Moran, and that's what we were having a little sidebar conversation. I think you'll primarily see that in that domain 6, the content expert piece. As you know, that's where you will find the goals, my specific goals that were established with the governing board earlier this past summer. But I'd like to primarily focus on the first part of that, which was all the student achievement piece. So all of our leaders are supporting the work that we are doing, because as you know, that goal isn't just specific to me, it's to the team as a whole. But the student achievement piece is definitely one that mirrors what's happening in our schools. Those data points that I'm directly held accountable for, as are our team, and they realize that it's really their efforts that help establish the outcomes as found in those particular achievement pieces. So I think that's the greatest area, is that domain 6, just to reiterate.
Okay, so basically the student achievement as evidenced by testing and attendance, and then part 6, which is your specific goals that you're trying to achieve each year. Let me ask a couple of follow-up questions in on the domains, because again, I did walk through and see, this is the tool that we've been using before. These are the standards that we were really measuring against. And then there are a few additional ones, for example, 1.2.2, that talks about communication through multiple formats to reach all stakeholders. Is that a cascading type standard, if you will? Is that on the principals as well? Okay, so that's an example of kind of where we're saying we need this to be at all levels.
So in addition, thank you for the great questions, Governing Board Moran. In addition to the content expert that Dr. Davidson just elaborated on, the domains themselves are also cascading. The descriptors for those domains and indicators were what was revised to be able to really tailor it to the superintendent position. So superintendent will be getting feedback about communication in that role, teamwork, problem solving. So that part is also cascading, is we're looking for those same attributes in all of our leaders, if that addresses your question. And the one you gave as an example is exactly on the leaders instrument as well. I've been practicing it a little bit lately for mid-years, so it's absolutely part of the principal and directors.
Okay, thank you. And then what about 1.3.2, superintendent's presence in the community to understand strengths and needs? Is there something similar to that on the leadership?
Yes, there is something similar about community engagement. It's not exactly written the same because our operational leaders' engagement with the community to accomplish their job might look a little different. Our principal engagement with the community, but yes, there is something in the evaluation system that addresses the way that we engage the community to do our work.
Okay, and then there's one thing, and we can certainly talk about this as a board. Under character, there was one specific question that we used to ask, which was basically demonstrates ethical and personal integrity. And I know that's not on this current proposed tool. That is really important to me because to me, the trust between the board and the superintendent, while the evidence to support that might be less concrete, or really you're looking for a lack of evidence, in that respect, I would like to see some sort of measure like that reincorporated. Even if it's just a 2.1.2 and then you're just saying strong evidence that the superintendent demonstrates ethical and personal integrity. Obviously, ethical leadership is the title of that section, if you will.
So we can go back and look at that. We did feel that there were different areas, but we can look at that through that lens with that question of having that come back in. Okay. As we were going through, we were also trying to make sure that we were not overwhelming the different areas, and so that may have been one that came off because we felt like that fit in other places.
Okay. I just feel like, what we've seen in other districts, although this is not going to happen in ours, but you see or hear about personal behaviors that would impact the credibility and trustworthiness of a superintendent. And so I feel like that should be part of what we can put into writing.
So looking at the 2.1, it's talking about implements rules and regulations and then also keeping the board policy. Is that the one you're thinking that if we just also added ethical to that, it would meet that?
Well, since 2.1 is under ethical leadership, I think if we change the current 2.1 to 2.1.1 and then add 2.1.2 that says, strong evidence that the superintendent demonstrates ethical and personal integrity, or even just demonstrates personal integrity, because the whole section is ethical, just somewhere that we can give that sort of feedback, I think would be appreciated by me.
Mr. Mikes, go ahead.
Well, actually, I was just, that's probably not a bad idea to have it as specific as Board Member Moran wants it. So, and I was just sitting back wondering, do we want to just embed it in the descriptors? I'm sorry, in the descriptors within the rubric, or do we want to have its own line item? But I think Board Member Moran is recommending that we have its own line item for it, and I mean that makes sense to me, and we can wordsmith something to that degree.
Okay, and then my other question is really about the student success, 5.1. So the measurements that are in here, for example, the first one that says highly effective is 1.7, effective is 1.69, to 1.6. Will that change every year, or is that going to be consistently these growth factors?
So right now, this does match what our leaders is saying, and we also are rolling this out. It may adjust just a little bit. We've been digging deep into some of this work with Director Owens to identify what that looks like for our teachers as we also roll this exact thing out. Previously, the highly effectives was at 0.95. And so we have adjusted this quite drastically. And so what we did is we actually looked to see what this would look like for our teachers and our campuses, and then as an entire district. And what we found, we're really trying to make sure that we're capturing what is really highly effective, what is effective, what is developing, and making sure that that is consistent, where we've got groups of students and how are they performing on the state assessment as well. And so with all of that work, these may change just a little bit, but the 1.7 was going to stay the same. It was the effective and the developing that might shift just a little bit.
Okay, so what I hear you saying is these measurements for each of the 4, 3, 2, and 1 may change slightly, but it will be cascading with what we're holding our teachers
Correct.
and campuses accountable to.
Yes.
Okay. Great.
Hold on, Ms., did you want to speak? Dr. Ducey, go ahead.
I was just going to add just a little more explanation, is that we want to make sure that the growth coefficient that we're calling highly effective, effective or developing, or ineffective matches with the performance at year end, as well as our ASA, our iReady, our Acadian. So when Mrs. Benjamin explained that we've been digging in with Mr. Owens, that's exactly what we've been doing. We've been like, okay, this is a growth coefficient based on how they did on the benchmark, but does that align up with how these same kids did on ASA, did on Acadians, and did on iReady? Because we really want to make sure when we say this number is highly effective, effective, or developing, that it matches across the board and it lines up with multiple data points. So that's the work that we're doing. So we may have iterations that we bring back to you as we continue to examine the correlation between all those data points, if that makes sense.
Yes, that makes sense. Thank you. I do have some other feedback on the goals and the evidence pieces, but I don't know if anybody wants to talk more about the first sections.
Mr. Owens, did you have any comments or suggestions on this?
None
right
from
now?
me, thanks. I do like the 4 points.
Yeah, I agree. I think the 4 points is good, and I appreciate that you guys put in the time to go through and try to make sure that all our stuff that we already had is in here. I will state that when we first got this and it was 30 pages, I was like, there's no way that we can have a 30-page review. That's insane. But once I was able to see it broken down a little bit differently, I felt much better. So I appreciate the work that the group did. So thank you for giving us the opportunity to give some feedback. I don't really have much at the time. I mean, I think that this probably is going to be another thing that we'll, as we use it and get used to it, we'll see areas that we need to tweak over time. But
well, and we do have options of how this can look when we have the final iteration. We could use our classroom mosaic as a tool to be able to help utilize this online and being able to have all of that. We could also put this into a Google form for all of you so that you can do drop downs rather than looking at a spreadsheet like this. So there are different ways that we can format this for use and not looking at 30 pages.
I do have concerns about the classroom mosaic because the way we do it is a little different than how you guys are evaluating administrators.
Yes.
And so I don't know if that will particularly
So we
work.
could do a Google Forms, which might make it look a little bit easier, then you would have access to all of that.
Gotcha. Okay. Ms. Moran, you said you had some other things.
Yes, so I guess from a functionality standpoint, I'm curious about, for example, content expert. So we normally sit down in the summer and have our retreat and we talk about what those goals are going to look like, what we think the top priorities should be for the district, and that translates into Dr. Davidson's goals. When we get this, will we work together to say, what are the pieces of that? I just wondering how much detail we're going to get up front, because we can look now that we know what these are and we've been given that kind of, we've already gone through the mid-year, so we have the final coming up. Are we going to establish really clearly what success looks like in the detailed standpoint, or are we going to be more agile as we go through the year to say, well, we thought we were going to do this, but now we're really going to do this? I mean, I think agile makes sense to me, but I also like things to be really black and white. So tell me what you think.
Great question. So when you look at the definition of evidence, you've got strong evidence and it lists the indicators. You've got evidence, some evidence, and then limited evidence. When we're looking at those specific things, I think that that's where that mid-year comes in. Is he adopting it? Is he adapting it? Or is he abandoning that goal? So you could have that conversation by mid-year to know, hey, we started this and we kind of tweaked it a little bit and this is working better for us. And so you could look at that mid-year more as an opportunity to discuss those goals, and are they going to stay the same for the end of the year, or have you pivoted and made some adjustments? And then for that meeting, I know we always try to get you all of the information ahead of time so that you can look through all the different evidence and artifacts, and we would continue to do that based on these goals. Yes.
And Ms. Moran, I would just simply add to that, if there was a specific goal with a very specific measure that we set early on, that certainly would make it easy for us to have that conversation, whether it's mid-year or end of year. At least what I've experienced to date, most of the goals are open-ended, allowing us to have conversation and to get to those final outcomes in May and June. But I think so. I think it could go either way, but I think the way it's written now, it's meant to be able to kind of be, just like we said with our teachers and administrators, more of a coaching tool, a conversation piece that leads to that expected and desired outcome versus, well, this is hard and fast throughout the year. So I think it kind of depends, but I could certainly go either way as we work together through that.
Okay, that makes sense to me. I guess just as an example, we have like 6.1, which is, the special education impact and budget. And then we have, things listed there as, what things that you're going to do, future action steps to positively impact students with disabilities. I'm just trying to think through the realistic kind of process of this, right? Maybe I don't have a question. Maybe I'm just thinking out loud, so I'll think about that.
I think that the point in some of these things is just to help all of us in our conversations be able to maybe rationalize and think through why we're giving the scores that we're giving. So I think like these bullet points here are really just to get us on the same page as far as what we're looking at as highly effective, developing based on those. But I think these are fairly fluid as our artifacts. Okay. Do you agree, Mr. Mikes?
Yeah, I agree with that. I know in the end, Board Member Moran, you're trying to figure out if all of these, just like they're laid out right now, whether or not these will all be teased out in the beginning of the year, if I'm hearing you correctly.
Yeah, I guess I just want to make sure that the board gets an opportunity for feedback, because we do give feedback when we have the initial goals. We might have 10 things we want to accomplish, and we kind of whittle that down to 5. These are going to be our top 5 priorities for the year, and we do that during the retreat. But I guess then once the administration decides this is what I think those action steps are going to look like, I would love for the board to be able to have another conversation to say, we agree, proceed, or no, you're off base here. Because I wouldn't want us to get to the mid-year review and then be like, we're on different pages. So maybe that's just more the process of really what should be happening with any evaluation. But, I really want to get this one right as much as we can and make sure that we're starting off on the best foot possible.
Well, and that brings a really good point. So we just copied and pasted these exactly from what was provided at the very beginning of the year and put them in here. When you're looking at these specific items, these are the key performance indicators or the action steps that we're thinking that could be around that goal. It's not necessarily the goal itself. But do we need to make that look a little bit different? Is that, and I could see a goal sheet of here's the goal, here's the possible key performance indicators, and maybe we're separating that out a little bit. I'm just processing through and speaking out loud.
Because I do think that would be easier for the evidence part, because that's the whole thing, is we're trying to be data driven, right? And sometimes I have felt in the past that we come in and we have opinions that may or may not be based in fact. And so I would like to be able to do this evaluation based on as much facts and evidence as possible. And I think that would work in our favor, and I think that would work in the superintendent's favor.
Okay, that's great feedback. And we can develop something that still keeps this goal the way that you guys have approved it to be written, and then allowing for the different evidence and artifacts and key performance indicators separately, so that we can add, tweak, and change throughout the year, and it's not necessarily a part of the goal.
Okay.
Does that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that sounds good to me. Thank you. That is all my questions.
Mr. Owens, did you have any more thoughts, questions, anything? This is just discussion right now. We don't actually have to vote to approve this, correct? But just discussion so that the committee could come back and make any tweaks or changes that we want or need. And then the thought is that this would be used for next year. I don't think it's going to be used this year, or are we using it this year?
And I guess, Ms. Ida, maybe we can land on that conversation. I'm perfectly comfortable with us using it this year. We used it for the mid-year conversation. To Ms. Moran's point, if we need to tighten up some of the pieces of evidence and artifact the board would like to see, we can definitely do that in an open meeting and vote upon that. I do think if we want this to be the tool this year, knowing that it incorporated the previous tool, I'm fine with that, but I do think it would be best for us to agendize it and vote it as the tool that we're going to use for the end of this school year.
Okay. With that, did you have any questions or comments, Mr. Owens?
Yeah, I'd be fine with it if that's the plan to implement it, and then that way we're ready for next year, I guess.
Yeah. Mr. Mikes?
Yeah, I'd also be open for implementation. I know we're trying to fine tune some things as well, just kind of depending on where the board as a whole wants to go, but I think it's in a comfortable enough spot to be able to move forward with it, but
well, and
yeah.
we would, so basically we would have you guys go back, make whatever tweaks you want to make based on the conversation here, and then it could come forward as us to vote on it. And I mean, I don't think that changes any work that Dr. Davidson is doing right now, so I would be comfortable for us to talk about that too. But
correct.
Ms. Wallace?
I don't have any other questions or comments. I am comfortable to use it and see how it goes. I was under the impression that tools did not need to be voted on, but I'm fine to vote on it if, not tonight, obviously it's not on the agenda, but at some point if that's what we need to do.
Ms. Moran?
Yeah, I'm fine if we decide we want to use this tool, because it really isn't changing. It's only the tool. We're not changing the goals. We're not changing the criteria. All of the criteria from the previous, if we add the personal integrity, all of the criteria from the previous tool is embedded in this tool as it is. So yeah, I'm fine if at some point we want to bring this back and get final approval, and we want to use it this year. That works for me.
I think you're correct. We don't have to vote on it. However, if you guys are going to go back and work on it and make the tweaks or whatever, I'd rather just have us bring it forward and then have the board approve that this is what we are going to use, so that we're all on the same page and we're being very transparent with our community, with ourselves, with Dr. Davidson on what exactly we're going to be using to evaluate him. So I think that would be helpful. But thank you very much for all of the work that you all put into doing this. I know it took some time, and you guys spent one day, a very long time, working on it to get it wrapped up so you could do it a little less days, but we appreciate the work that you put in. Thank you. I think that it looks great. Okay, with that, we're going to move on to reports. We will start with the report from Dr. Davidson.
Thank you, President Zeitem, and Happy New Year to each of you. We are certainly off and running this January as we move through the remainder of the school year. Starting, just thank you for your service, and to each of you on behalf of your work as a governing board member. Obviously, as Mr. Nuwan has shared, it is National School Board Appreciation Month, and hopefully you had a chance just to reflect a little bit and think about the choices that you also make as board members and how it impacts our kids. And that was just a great showing of how the support of the Litchfield learner, the well-rounded student, I was just in awe. They did a great job, and hopefully you had a chance to enjoy that as well. Just wanted to share some highlights and some upcoming initiatives that are happening here in the district over the next few months. As of this evening, we started our third cohort of the Future Leader Academy, as Mr. Nuwan spoke about. Had a great turnout tonight. I think there was probably about 15, 16 individuals in the room ready to continue to learn and develop in leadership. So it was great to meet with them. Tomorrow at the City of Avondale, we do have our district spelling bee. So hopefully maybe you have a chance to join, or you can, I think, watch online perhaps as well. This Friday, we do have no school with our students, yet it is a teacher full-day staff development day, and I know that Ms. Benjamin and her team have great plans ready for our staff. As we move into the spring, and this is more of a message not just for us as a whole here, but our families, Mr. Coyne and Ms. Benjamin have started our special district in our schools to join that and help continue to promote positive practices on behalf of students with disabilities. So we're excited for that work. We do have some communications being prepared to go out to our district and to our residents of our district. Mr. Nuwan and his team have been helping me build postcards to just highlight the success and efforts of our district, and so those will be going out very soon, and certainly always directing people back to our website just to learn about us as we just move through this school year. And lastly, in regards to celebration, I want to give a congratulations to Mr. Nuwan and Ms. Amarano from the Communications and Public Relations team. They were most recently given a variety of awards on behalf of their work with the Arizona School Public Relations Association. So, Sam, if you wouldn't mind taking a second and sharing with the governing board the information on the awards. And President's item after that, I've concluded, so thank you for tonight's meeting. Sam.
Being part of the ASPRA organization, which we collaborate with our other contemporaries in the public relations, school public relations, they have the annual awards that we submit and are judged by other PR professionals across the country. This year we were awarded 8 awards of excellence and 1 of merit, all within the video storytelling realm. This cannot be done without the amazing work that our teachers are doing in their classroom. And that's what exemplifies what we do. So we're able to let our communities know what's really going on in our classrooms, and I think it really brings our community together because we need to control our narrative, right? We need to be the ones telling our story, not anybody else. So that's just kind of just a little reminder that we're hitting the target. We want to make sure that we're able to expand and continue to tell those great stories. Just a little fact that I was sharing with Dr. Davidson as we've been amping up in our mighty team of 2. So with these 8 over the last 3 years, that now makes 24 awards of excellence over the last 3 years, which prior to that, I believe we had, prior to the last 3 years before I got here, we had none. So we are excelling, and we plan to continue to do so.
Okay. Next, we are going to move on to reports from governing board members, and I will start with Mr. Owens.
Yeah, I don't think I have anything to report, so.
Mr. Mikes?
Nothing much to report. However, I'm trying to look back at the calendar, and I think we had a chance to, we had a great holiday and had a chance to sit through did the Litchfield and Park Parade with a couple of the other board members. I do believe we went to Corte Sierra to do a site visit. We haven't had a chance to give a shout out to that piece yet with it, but that was a great visit to see all the great things that are happening there. And then went to the ASBA conference, which was great. A chance to see our leadership team actually do a presentation on Northern Lights and fine-tuning the mission and vision of the school. And it was great to see them verbalize that to another group of professionals. And I thought, not to be biased or anything, but probably the best presentation of the conference. So anyways, I appreciate you guys on the hard work on that. It was great to see those pieces there, and just looking forward to the next second semester of the year here.
Ms. Wallace?
Yes, we went to Cordy Sierra and we were treated to a amazing concert performed by their kindergartners. So definitely some holiday cheer. That was very, very cute and well done. We were able to ride in the Litchfield Park Parade and pass out lots and lots of sugar to all of the children along review all in that week. So it was a good week leading up to our Christmas break. Had some great relaxing time off and are excited about 2026 and all that it has to bring coming forward. That's it for me.
Ms. Moran?
Yes, I was able to attend a couple of our holiday events in December. The Kiwanis Special Ed Party with guest of honor Santa Claus. Always a really fun time of celebration with our very special students and staff. I also got to ride in the Litchfield Park Holiday Parade, which is truly one of my favorite events of the year because it showcases our community support and involvement so well. And I love to see all the smiling faces and enthusiastic waves from all ages in the crowd. That's really the good stuff right there. I also attended the Corte Sierra Showcase. Thank you to Principal Rodiger for highlighting the excellent work being done by evaluation, which is an important time of reflection for the board and the superintendent on progress toward goals and the health of the systems we have in place. It went quite well, and I look forward to seeing the year-end results of LESD's continuous improvement plans. I also had the privilege of doing a site walk to see the progress of construction at Troy Gilbert Elementary. Very exciting to see the campus take shape. It is going to be safe, beautiful, and functional when it opens in the fall, and I cannot wait to see it completed and see students and staff on that campus. Finally tonight, as I enter my 9th year as an LESD governing board member, it feels bittersweet to let you know that I will not run for re-election this fall. The top priorities I joined this board to help LESD accomplish have been or are actively being achieved. Capable people, as well as systemic application of sound policy and procedures are in place. It's time for a different voice and a different set of experience to have a seat at this table. I encourage anyone eligible to shoot your shot, get involved, and run for election. It is a challenging and very rewarding experience. Myself, as well as all my other fellow board members here, our email addresses and contact information are readily available at lesd79.org. Reach out to any of us. We would be happy to help explain the process, answer questions, and point you in the right direction. As Uncle Sam would say, I want you to run for LESD Governing Board. I will close tonight with lyrics by Chris Stapleton, his song Starting Over. But nobody wins afraid of losing, and the hard roads are the ones worth choosing. Someday we'll look back and smile and know it was worth every mile. Thank you.
Okay. I'm very glad I get to have a whole year to process how we're going to survive next year without an accountant on the board, but maybe an accountant will come and take your place. As for me, this past month was a lot and a short amount of time that we were actually here. I also attended the Kiwanis Christmas party, which was super fun. I really appreciate the partnership we have with Kiwanis. It's a really great event that they put on for our special education kids that are in the self-contained classes. They enjoy getting to have some time with Santa and getting a present, and it's a really fun event that they put on for them. I also enjoyed seeing Buddy the Elf. Shout out to Buddy the Elf for also showing up and being there for us. We did our review for Dr. Davidson, which went, I think, very well. I am encouraged every time that we have those meetings at the direction we're headed. I appreciate him and all of his hard work and all of his staff for everything that they do every day to make this district be the great place that it is for all our students. We were able to do the Christmas in the Park parade, which has become a fun tradition for this board, and I was excited to get to do that again this year. I did run out of candy, but only at the very end. I was so close. Thank you to Mr. Mike's over here for hooking me up with a little bit of extra candy so that we could pass it out. But I also throw it to some grown-ups, so because I feel like they get missed out. We had the Corte School Showcase, which was awesome to see all the great work that they're doing there and to see the program that she has in place for her new staff, because she had pretty high turnover last year and she knew she needed to do something about that. And so I like seeing how that progress is coming on making sure that the staff feels that they're supported and that they have the resources that they need. I also appreciated the little concert from our kindergartners. I love the little babies, so it was a very adorable way to get into the holiday season. And lastly, as far as my volunteering, I got to go back to my roots of PTAing days, and I volunteered the entire last week of school running the holiday shop at Rancho Santa Fe. It was so fun to do. I love working with all the kids and getting to see them all week and getting to help them pick out fun prizes and try to convince the littles that either, yes, your mom really does want slime, or maybe they don't want slime. I don't know. My daughter came home from college and also helped me all week, and she was very pro, yes, your mom wants slime. I was a little less so, but it was a fun time. All the kids had a great time getting presents for their family and kind of getting into that holiday spirit of giving and not just receiving. But beyond that, I enjoyed a lot of quality time with my family. My son was able to come home, and I was able to have all of my kiddos under one roof for almost 2 weeks, which was amazing. And so I hope that everyone is excited to kick off this 2026 year. I think it's going to be a fantastic year, and I'm excited to see all that we are able to accomplish. I want to thank all of my board members for their support and their belief in me in doing this job so that I can do it one more year and we can see Troy Gilbert open up. It will be an exciting time. But with that, I'm going to end my report. We thank all the administrators for sending in their reports. Shout out to Laura Combs and the work that she's done to get this science fair going. We're excited to be able, some of us, to be judging that next week and see how that comes out. That's something I've missed over the last couple of years. We had a District 1 for a while and it has not been here, so I'm excited to have that come back. And also I'm excited to see the work that happens with the group they're putting together for the career exploration and being able to kind of start that thought now with our kids when they're littler, because we know that that's going to be a big thing when they get to high school, so they can kind of start exploring now and seeing all the things they're interested in. And I think it'll be a great experience for them. So thank you to everybody and all the work that you do. With that, if someone would like to make a motion.
I will move to adjourn the meeting.
Second.
Having a motion from Mr. Owens and a second from Mr. Mikes, I'll call for the vote. Mr. Owens?
Yay.
Mr. Mikes?
Yay.
Ms. Wallace?
Yay.
Ms. Moran?
Yay.
I am also a yay. Motion approved. Thank you guys for joining us. We hope you have a great rest of your night.